Now they are after Amazon, they finished many before. There was once a forest so vast, it breathed for the planet. A living cathedral of green, the Amazon, where every leaf whispered life into the air we breathe. But the silence is growing. The trees are falling. And humanity, once again, is repeating its oldest sin, the hunger to conquer what gives it life. They say the earth will end someday. Maybe it's not a prophecy anymore. Maybe it's a plan. The lungs of the planet. The Amazon rainforest is not just Brazil's treasure. It stretches across 9 proud nations: Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Bolivia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. 7 million square kilometers of living wonder, the largest continuous rainforest on Earth. Here, 20% of the world's oxygen is born. Here, rivers carry more water than any other place on the planet. Here, rain creates more rain, a self-sustaining heartbeat that keeps South America alive. But now, 30% of this forest is gone. Another 20% stands in the crosshairs of chainsaws and bulldozers of corporates. And when that next fifth disappears, scientists warn, the forest will no longer stand. It will break and die. The rain will fade. The soil will turn to dust. And nature will do its job, to reset what humans refuse to respect. The pattern of destruction. This is not a new story. It is a repeating pattern. A disease that wears different clothes in every century. Wherever the so-called civilized world went, forests died. In North America, endless woodlands once stretched from the Atlantic to the Mississippi. Then came the settlers, with their axes, their fences, their guns. They called it progress. By the early 1900s, almost all the original forests of the eastern United States were gone. In Australia, ancient trees that had stood for 2,000 years were cut in a century, replaced by sheep and cattle ranches. Now, the land burns under skies of fire and smoke, while the old spirits of the land weep in silence. In Southeast Asia, Malaysia, and Indonesia's emerald jungles fell to palm oil empires. Borneo, once thick with rainforest older than the Amazon, has lost a third of its canopy in just 4 decades. For what? Snack food. Shampoo. Cheap fuel. In Africa, from Congo to Ghana, Western corporations sliced through the green heart of the continent, digging for gold, diamonds, timber, and oil. They called it development. Locals called it another invasion. Wherever they went, the land turned pale. Forests vanished. Rivers dried. And people were left poorer than before. And now, they are after Amazon. The corporate crusade. Colonial boots are gone, but the corporations have taken their place. They wear suits now. They show no mercy, they control the democracies. Their swords are bulldozers. Their flags are brand logos. The world's biggest destroyers of the Amazon are not farmers, they are empires. JBS, the world's largest beef company. Each steak sold may carry the memory of a burned tree. Cargill, American agribusiness giant, feeding the planet by starving the earth. Bunge, ADM, Marfrig, soy and cattle titans that turn forests into feedlots. BlackRock, the world's largest investor, funding it all from glass towers in New York. Vale, mining the bones of Brazil itself. Petrobras, drilling oil beneath the same soil the rainforest is dying to protect. Together, they've already cleared over 1 million square kilometers, land the size of France and the UK combined. From space, NASA's satellites show scars that look like veins of disease across the heart of South America, long, fishbone lines carved by highways and greed. And the profits? They flow north, to bank accounts in New York, London, Toronto. To the same cities that once financed slave ships and colonial expeditions. The belief that justifies destruction. Every empire needs a belief, a story to excuse its hunger. Centuries ago, it was the Bible. They said God gave them dominion over the earth, and they took it literally. They cut forests, in His name. They enslaved people, for civilization. They believed the world must end someday, so why care if it ends early? That same old belief, wrapped now in corporate language, still whispers in boardrooms. The planet is for profit. Resources exist to be used. If it's green, it's money. Their descendants no longer wear crosses on their chests, they wear ties around their necks. But the faith remains the same, a holy mission to consume until there is nothing left to consume. The warning ignored. Then came the age of science. In the 1970s, scientists gave humanity its first great warning: the Earth was heating up. They said the ice would melt, the storms would grow stronger, the forests would dry. And in 1988, NASA confirmed it: the planet was warming fast, and humans were the cause. It was our chance to stop. Our moment to turn back. But what did the governments and corporations do? They did not slow down, they accelerated. They jumped to extract, exploit, and consume everything, as if racing against time itself. It was as if they feared not the end of the world, but that aliens might arrive first and steal the forests, the oil, and even the oxygen we breathe. They called it an energy boom. History will call it a suicide sprint. The people of the forest. Long before colonizers arrived, the forest already had its guardians. Indigenous tribes, the true children of the Amazon. They lived with nature, not above it. Every tree had a spirit. Every river had a name. They farmed small plots, hunted what they needed, and left the forest richer than they found it. Then came the outsiders, first with guns, later with machines. The natives were enslaved, infected, and erased from maps. Those who remain now stand on the front lines, defending the trees with their lives. Leaders of indigenous communities are killed every year for saying one word: no. No to mining. No to logging. No to another green project that steals their land. But their voices are drowned by the roar of engines and the lies of politicians. Nature's revenge. Nature is patient, but she is not passive. When too much is taken, she begins to take back. Scientists call it a tipping point. When another 20 to 25% of the Amazon is lost, rainfall will drop so sharply that the forest will start dying from within. Fires will feed on dryness. The soil will collapse. What remains will turn into savanna, a dry grassland incapable of rebirth. It won't stop there. The loss of the Amazon would change weather patterns across the world: droughts in Africa, floods in Asia, failed harvests in Europe. A living system that took millions of years to build could vanish in a few decades. And humanity, ever blind, will ask, what happened? As if it wasn't warned. The global irony. In the world's financial capitals, men in suits give speeches about sustainability. They sip bottled water flown from Fiji while signing contracts that destroy rivers in Brazil. They talk about carbon neutrality while funding the next deforestation project. Between 2016 and 2024, American financial institutions made over $5 billion in profits from companies linked to Amazon destruction. At the same time, they printed glossy ESG reports, pages of forests, butterflies, and smiling farmers. It's the perfect crime: make money destroying the forest, then make more pretending to save it. What comes after the trees? When the trees fall, it isn't just the canopy that dies. It's the clouds, the rivers, the animals, the very rhythm of the earth. Without the forest, the rivers shrink. Without the rivers, the soil dies. Without the soil, life itself retreats. The Amazon holds more than trees, it holds balance. And when balance breaks, the chaos spreads, silently, invisibly, until it reaches every doorstep on Earth. This is not a local tragedy. It's a planetary suicide. A mirror to humanity. Look closely, and you'll see the Amazon isn't just a forest, it's a mirror. It reflects what we've become. We invent technologies to explore the stars, yet fail to protect the soil beneath our feet. We can decode DNA but can't understand harmony. We build machines that breathe for us, but we are killing the lungs that breathe for the planet. We call this progress. But if progress means turning paradise into wasteland, maybe the word has lost its meaning. Lessons from the past. 5 centuries ago, the same mindset crossed oceans and continents. Forests in Europe were cut down to build ships for conquest. Forests in Africa were burned to plant sugar and cotton. Forests in America were replaced with ranches. Forests in Asia fell for tea and rubber. Everywhere they went, the pattern was identical: extract, export, exhaust. And when the land could give no more, they moved on. Now, only one great green shield remains, the Amazon. And they are coming for it, too. The forest still fights. Yet, even in despair, there is resistance. Across Brazil and the wider Amazon, people are rising: farmers, indigenous leaders, environmentalists, even scientists. They risk their lives to protect what's left. Their weapons are not guns but truth. Their defense is not armor but love, love for the land that feeds and shelters them. Every protest, every replanting effort, every camera that captures a burning tree, it all matters. Because history has shown, when ordinary people rise, even empires can fall. The planet's last breath. If the Amazon dies, it will not die alone. It will take us with it, our rains, our food, our seasons, our stability. This is not about saving trees. It's about saving ourselves. But humanity is busy selling, buying, arguing, scrolling. And the fire grows behind the screen. One day, when the rain stops and the sky turns red, we will remember. We were warned. And we laughed. The call. The story of the Amazon is not yet finished. The ink is still wet. The ending can still be rewritten. If we choose humility over greed, care over control, harmony over hunger, the forest will forgive us. It has done so before. But if we don't, then the prophecy will fulfill itself. Not by divine will, but by human hands. They finished the forests of America. They burned the green of Asia. They emptied the heart of Africa. And now, they are after Amazon. This is not just the story of trees. It is the story of us. And whether we choose to end it, or save it, will decide if the planet keeps breathing. Because when the last tree falls, it will not just be the Amazon that dies. It will be humanity. Returning to the dust from which it came.